Hey, my fellow anglers, welcome back to the channel, your go-to spot for all things fishing. I'm your host, and today we're diving deep into what awaits us on the water on January 17th, 2026. Now, my friends, this day is going to be a real paradox for us. We're looking at some seriously cold, stable winter weather, which can be great in its own way, but combine that with a tricky moon phase, and we've got a challenge on our hands. But don't you worry, because by the end of this video, you'll have all the insider info to turn a tough bite into a triumphant catch. We're going to uncover why this particular mid-January day could hold some incredible surprises, where to find those elusive winter lunkers, and what exact tactics will put fish in your net. All right, let's talk about our top targets for this specific winter day across the diverse waters of the USA. First up, for my ice fishing enthusiasts and cold water warriors in the northern states, we're focusing on yellow perch. These panfish are known for their willingness to bite even in frigid conditions. Where to find them, you ask? By mid-January, yellow perch have typically schooled up tight. Forget the shallow flats they roamed in early winter. Now, they've pushed out into deeper basins and holes, often in 20 to 40 feet of water. My experience tells me to use your electronics to pinpoint the edges of old weed beds or subtle drop-offs on the lake floor. That's where the bait fish are hiding, and those hungry perch will be right there with them. For catching them, you've got to downsize everything. The water is cold and their metabolism is slow. Small ice jigs, often tipped with maggots or bloodworms, are your best bet. A tiny jigging spoon in silver or white, ripped aggressively, and then allowed to flutter down, can also trigger strikes. Remember, it's about putting the lure right in front of their face. Next, let's talk about the highly sought-after walleye. These aggressive feeders don't shy away from cold water. Look for them concentrated in deep holes, lake basins and rocky bottoms, especially in northern river systems and lakes. They prefer those stable, deeper areas. When it comes to tackle, a slow-dragging jig with a plastic combination in open water is effective, or if you're on the ice, set lines with minnows can yield great results. A slow retrieve is absolutely crucial. These fish aren't going to chase anything fast. Now, for my saltwater buddies along the warmer southern coasts, we're zeroing in on redfish. These winter champions thrive when other species slow down. They'll be concentrated in deeper channels, tidal creeks, and along mangrove shorelines that catch the morning sun, warming the water just a few degrees. During incoming tides, keep an eye out for them cruising or tailing in just a few feet of water, especially on shallow flats. Soft plastics like paddle tails or shrimp imitations, worked with a slow retrieve, are highly effective. A gold spoon can also be a killer. On those rare warmer parts of the day, a topwater plug might even entice a strike. And for those same southern waters, let's target speckled trout. These beauties will be seeking out deeper shoreline as power plant outflows and tidal creeks where the water is a bit more stable and warmer. Live shrimp or baitfish presented under a popping cork can be deadly. Alternatively, soft plastics on a light jig head, fished with subtle twitches and pauses, will get their attention. Remember, in cold water, subtlety is your best friend. All right, let's break down the conditions shaping our forecast for January 17th, 2026. Weather-wise, across much of the United States, we're looking at a generally cold, clear winter day. Morning temperatures will hover around 30 degrees Fahrenheit, rising to 37 degrees Fahrenheit by noon, then settling around 35 in the evening and 33 at night. January 2026, in general, has been cooler than usual, averaging 36 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 5 degrees Fahrenheit below the typical seasonal average. This steady cold, coupled with what appears to be stable atmospheric pressure, means the fish will likely be settled, but also quite lethargic. Wind will be light, mostly from the north or northeast, adding to the chill factor, but not creating much chop. And here's some good news for comfort. Zero precipitation is expected. This stable, cold pattern means fish will be conserving energy, so slow, deliberate presentations are absolutely critical. When it comes to water temperature, as expected for mid-January, water temperatures across the country will be quite cold. Many northern freshwater bodies will be ice-covered, offering prime ice fishing conditions. In places like the Southern California coast, you might find water in the upper 50s, while near Miami, Florida, it could still be in the mid-70s, around 74 to 76 degrees Fahrenheit. Remember, cold water significantly slows down a fish's metabolism, making them less aggressive and unwilling to chase fast-moving baits. Our advice is to focus on slower, more subtle presentations and target deeper, more stable areas, or those sun-warmed pockets in the south. Now let's talk about the sacked moon phase. On January 17, 2026, the moon will be in a waning crescent phase, with a very low illumination of just 1 to 2%. It's moving closer to the new moon, which happens just a day later. In fishing folklore, the waning crescent phase is often considered a period where fishing activity can be a bit more capricious. Some anglers believe the bite slows down after the brighter nights of the full moon, theorizing that fish might have fed heavily then. So, while not a deal-breaker, it's a factor that suggests we might need extra patience. Overall, this to general fish activity on this day will lean towards a slow metabolism due to the cold water. Fish will be conserving energy and will likely be concentrated in deeper, more stable water in freshwater systems or seeking warmer pockets in southern saltwater environments. While species like perch, walleye, redfish and trout remain active, they'll demand precise presentations and a very slow approach. Considering all these factors, the stable but very cold weather, the frigid water temperatures, and the waning crescent moon, I'm rating the overall bite for January 17, 2026 as capricious to average. While the stable atmospheric pressure is a positive, the extreme cold and the moon phase suggest that fish will be lethargic and less willing to chase. Success will depend heavily on your ability to locate concentrated fish and present your baits slowly and precisely within their strike zone. So there you have it, my friends, your detailed forecast for January 17, 2026. Get out there, stay warm, stay safe, and remember to fish slow and precise. In wishing each and every one of you nothing but tight lines and screaming reels, may you have an amazing day on the water. Hey, if you found this forecast helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more tips, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss a single video. And tell me in the comments below, what are your go-to winter fishing tactics and what species are you hoping to tangle with this January? Share your wisdom with our community. Until next time, tight lines and good fishing.